Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. All right, I got a really fun episode for you tonight. We're going to be reviewing X-Men number 11 that just came out this week, and it's this really cool cover too with all the girls on the team, and they're going to go on an adventure together, and we're going to get dived right into that here in a second. First, we got a couple things I do want to go over. We're still trying to do our 200 subscriber giveaway, and when we hit 200 subscribers, we're going to be giving away this book. It's the Joker number one, Mark Brooks variant cover with the Joker driving his car looking really sweet and crazy. And you got Punchline hanging out with him up there. And not only are you going to win the book, but you're also going to get a cbcs sticker, which is the Comic Book Community Awards. And that's really cool. It's kind of like the Oscars for YouTube personalities like myself. And I'm trying to support that. So you guys should go check that out. The voting is on right now, and they're gonna have the give out the awards later this year. And a comic book channel much bigger than me, I'm sure, is gonna win the awards. But I'm trying to support it and spread the word as much as I can. So yeah, like, comment, and be subscribed to the channel, and that's gonna enter you to win. Also, I do got a couple other things before we get dived into X-Men number 11. Now, the first thing that I usually tell you guys is we're gonna get completely dived in and swimming through this issue. So if you don't want to be spoiled for X-Men number 11 that came out this week, that is your warning. All right. And the next thing that we always got to cover is we want to shout out the creative team on the comic book, because without the creative team, we wouldn't be enjoying this comic book, right? And first off, we have the writer is Jerry Duggan, the artist is Pepe Larraz, the color artist is Marte Gracia, and the letters are done by VC's Clayton Cowles. And we'll go ahead and start by reading the foreword, and that says, Sync, using Jean Grey's powers, wiped the knowledge of mutant resurrection from human reporter Ben Urich's mind in order to protect Krakoa. But even with one threat eliminated, many more circle the mutant nation. The anti-mutant organization known as Orcus continues to gather resources and plot against mutant kind. The recent establishment of an outpost on Arako's moon Phobos by Orcus agent Fei Long has proved Iraqi and Earthen mutants alike. Meanwhile, somewhere in the far corners of the galaxy lies Game World, where Cordyceps Jones is taking bets on the destruction of Earth. Thankfully, Rogue has some connections of her own that may allow the X-Men to turn the odds in their favor. And let's get right on into X-Men number 11. Now we start, and Rocket sends a message to Gambit saying, Hey Gambit, we got to get a hold of our bookie and see if we can make bets about Game World crapping the bed. Can we short a casino? And and then next panel we get and this is really cool. I actually kind of want to show this. I like Larraz and Gracia's take on Mojo there. Really cool. And so Mojo says, Welcome back to Mojo World. Investor Day special. Hold for applause. In just a bit, we'll have some major X news. But before we get to your favorite and not favorite mutants, let's have an exclusive update on the launch of Game World. And then his assistant cuts him off and is like, Excuse me, there's an emergency. A lawyer has arrived. And the lawyer walks up and basically explains to Mojo that Cordyceps Jones has infected all of Mojo's investors in Game World with a fungal infection, basically like mind controlling them. And they are all completely willing now to sign over the company to Cordyceps Jones. And Mojo is not happy about this, and he says basically that he wants to place all of the rest of his remaining funds on a bet on the taking out the treehouse in New York. So he's like, let's see, you know what I'm saying? Let's see if that pisses the X-Men off enough that they bring their full might and fury upon Cordyceps Jones, and Cordyceps gets what's coming to him because he's mad he's lost his empire to Cordyceps Jones. And so then we get the all girls squad. Like I said, guys, uh, coming in sly and trying to sneak in, and it says Earth had seen an uptick in the number of alien incursions after Araco was reborn on Mars. It was the opposite of what was supposed to happen. Rather than wait for another extinction level event, the X-Men went on the offense. And the the guy that answers the door is like, "Welcome, friends. What to first, ladies? The spas, the shopping?" And Rogue says, "We're here for the gambling, sugar." And the attendant guy says, "Is that Mysterium?" And she says, "We got more where this came from." So she brings a bunch of money. So like I said, they come in pretending. He's like, "I wish you guys the best of luck." And the Laura Kinney says, "We make our own luck," right? And then it kind of says like a short time ago, so before they had left, we get Rocket Raccoon down in Gambit's extra legal gambling den in the treehouse, and he says, "Game World's a new casino, and if the players there are gambling on your fate, it's bad luck for you. One day your planet exists, the next day it's busted out. When somebody decides it's worth more dead than alive, blam, that's it. Then they got corporations that go through and strip the world for parts. That money and suspicion are laundered through Game World. It's practically its own solar system, so it's not like there's strict accounting. As for security, they got psi dampeners, like that would ever stop Gene, right? But they got psi alarms, which is way more problematic. Meat wrapped robots whose only gig is to sniff out the big brains. The joint's really something. I'm happy I got to see it once. But whatever you're about to do, it happens." And then we fast forward back to the girls infiltrating Game World, and Rogue says, "Well, Rocket was right on the money. This place sure is something." And Jean Grey says, "Capitalism's final form, gambling on the ruin of worlds. As expected, the psi dampeners are laughable. The psi alarms are less so." And I'm sorry, I'm laughing because of this what happens here. And then so Polaris says, "So we stick to the plan." And Laura Kinney says, "Kay, have fun. I'm off to play the scrapper." Jean Grey says, "Be safe." And this is what I liked. And then Polaris looks up to see this really cool green and yellow dress that just totally matches her green hair. And she's like, "Ooh." "Oh, that's nice. I want that." And then so we go back to the treehouse, and we have Sunfire, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel are talking. And Sunfire says, "Thanks for dropping in, Iron Man and Captain Marvel, but I'm sorry, we didn't really notice an uptick in attacks from space." And Tony Stark says, "Wow, seriously, Sunfire?" And Captain Marvel says, "You know how it looks to us. The X-Men blast into space in some big hurry, and they leave you here to watch the planet. You're on goalie duty." And Sunfire says, "Well, if that were true, the goalie is the most important player on the team." At that moment, In a particularly evil part of New Jersey, Captain Krakoa and Sink were on the trail of Dr. Stasis. And we have Sink says, "The Avengers are at the treehouse. I used Jean's powers to listen in. Man, does everybody know which buttons to push on Sunfire?" And not Captain Krakoa. Scott Summers says, "Well, there certainly is that, but I don't know if we gain anything by lying to the Avengers. Earth is a pinata on Game World because we took Mars. What's the upside of not telling the truth?" Sink says, "When you asked me to sync with Wolverine, I didn't know you'd be dragging me down here to use my heightened senses in the sewers." And Scott Summers says, "Sorry, Logan always complained too. I thought it was worth a shot to try and follow the monsters that attacked us." And Sink says, "Actually, the monsters went to the right, and somebody covered in your blood bumped up against the wall and went to the left." And Scott Summers says, "Then we each have a path. Be safe." And then back to the game world where Wolverine, Laura Kinney, is kind of hanging out, and she actually gets dropped upon by Cordyceps Jones. And Cordyceps Jones is able to get the fungal infection on her and control her. So now she's like zombified like all the other ones. So bad news. And then back to what's going on with Sink and Scott. And Sink says, "I guess Mr. Stasis is getting rid of the evidence." And this tiger guy says, "He'll regrow us when he needs us, and it's Dr. Stasis. Forgive me if I don't tuck tail for every mutant pretending to be the Wolverine." And Sink says, "Don't test me." And the tiger guy jumps at him. He jumps back and just slices this guy in half. And and then Sink says, "You didn't let me finish. Fact is, I've been Wolverine longer than anybody alive." And if you know what that means, like him and Laura Kinney were boyfriend and girlfriend for like 1,000 years inside of Krakoa's egg. It's hard to explain. Just they were alive for 1,000 years in an alternate reality together. All right, moving on. And then, so Rogue's thinking she's kind of like trying to talk to Jean Grey. She says, "Hope you guys can hear me on the backup radio. The engines are black holes. If we sabotage them, none of us are getting out of here. Wolverine should be back from scouting the security by now. I'm on my way to rendezvous from my scout to meet Polaris." And she turns and looks, and I'll show you this one. She's like, "Wait, did you go shopping?" And Polaris says, "I did, and I learned that Game World is run on slave labor. If the workers here get out of line, Cordyceps will allow wagers on their planets." And this was what had Polaris kind of sidetracked. She found that really cool dress. and, and she goes, "Jean's in place. Time for a distraction. Those slot machines are cyborgs." Rogue says, "Those are slot machines?" Polaris says, "They have easy buttons for me to press." And as she says that, all the slot machines just start spitting out coins. It says, "Multiple house-breaking jackpots ring out across the floor." And security to slots now. And as the pawns are lured out, as the queen slides into position, she witnesses the end of a young world, rich in resources, and has only one thought: never again. And then Jean Grey stands up in front of everybody and she says, "Ladies and gentlemen, you've had your fun. You've battered my home for your amusement, trying to kill us off and break our planet apart to fund this grotesque palace I stand in. If you stay at this table and you seek profit off the demise of my home, then you gamble more than you realize, and none of you are safe." And this guy says, "Haha, a Terran broad gets to watch as I finish off her ugly mud ball. Look, Tots, don't feel bad. I'm only betting on what I'd already won, so haha, what do I got to lose?" As he rolls some dice on the table. And Jean Grey says, "That hand for starters," and just breaks his hand, and he screams, "Ah!" And she says, "I was Marvel Girl. Now I'm Jean Grey. I did not even let the Phoenix command me, so what chance do you have? You attacked my home and sought to profit off our dead. Remember this day when you received Krakoa's mercy. Now run for your lives. Show yourself, Cordyceps Jones." Cordyceps says, "Here I am, Red. In fact, I'm kind of all around you. Ha ha ha. I'm impressed. But I got your friend here, and she's come to see things my way. Don't feel bad though, 'cause you're gonna come round too. You think everyone's afraid of me now. Wait till I've got the freaking former Phoenix wrapped around my little finger. Just relax and breathe deep. Ha 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 ha." And I'll give you this one. It's got that's Cordyceps Jones, and you can see Laura Kinney right there with like she's been mutated by him and is now mind controlled, and yeah, man, it's not looking good. And maybe he's got Jean Grey. If he has Jean Grey, that's a strong mutant, man. Scary times. All right, so now we get a letter here. It's an internal communique from the desk of Dr. Stasis, Orcus Human Resources Director. And it says, "To all at the Oblivion Institute," from Dr. Stasis. And it says, "The Oblivion Institute was founded on the principle that coexistence is a lie, and empirical evidence could be presented to support it. We have succeeded and have worked ourselves out of a job. With the theft of Mars, others have come to my way of thinking, quite late, of course. But the mutants must be eradicated. The mutant apologists, like race trader Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, say that the mutants have put a natural buffer between millions of refugee mutants and human civilization. I don't feel threatened by Araco in the slightest. This is preposterous, and I'm glad that this old man has revealed his true colors. I'd like to recognize Bornin for his leadership in tough times. Much of what he asked of you was because I demanded it of him. Drink one last serum for me, the one served in front of you now. Sleep well, and know that I will see you again in your next life at Orcus. All the best, Dr. Stasis." And then we see Dr. Stasis sitting in his sewer lair, and he says, "Is it done, Bornin?" And Scott Summers says, "Stand up, Stasis." And Dr. Stasis says, "It's Doctor, actually. Nice to have you here, Captain Krakoa. But no need for charades down here, Cyclops. And you X-Men won't be able to mess with my mind as long as I wear my mask." And Cyclops says, "You don't need to worry about my betters. I'm here alone." Stasis says, "You came to face your nemesis alone? You know it didn't go so well for you the last time we were alone together. I don't know whether to laugh or be insulted." And Scott says, "Definitely feel insulted, but leave room for worse. I haven't begun to go to work on you yet," as he punches him right across the face. And Stasis says, "Ugh, I hate you. How can mankind not hate cancer? You people are a disease spreading from a bloated tumor of an island, and by my surgeon's hand, you will be excised." And Scott says, "I've heard it before." And as he's trying to coming down with his weapon, his sword, Scott grabs it with both of his hands and eye beams him right in his face mask. Check this out, guys. Super cool, right? If you're a Scott Summers fan, oh man. And he goes, "You!" And Stasis says, "I'm sorry. Have we met?" And guys, it's a clone of Mr. Sinister, yo. Dr. Stasis is a clone of, like I said, giant spoilers. You guys know if you watch my episodes, you're gonna see everything. It's a clone. It's a clone of Dr. Stasis, yo. That's the last page reveal, and he doesn't know. And it says next, the sinister origins of Dr. Stasis. Oh my gosh, it is a new character. It's a new character. So X-Men 1 is first appearance of Dr. Stasis, who's a clone of, now we finally know, like an entire year later. So Dr. Stasis is a clone of Mr. Sinister, which is super dope. Like Mr. Sinister is one of the greatest bad guys, and one of the problems with this Krakoan era is that they've kind of like re-allowed all of the biggest bad guys onto the team, if you will, or like they're good guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, now you've used all your best bad guys are not available. So yeah, like we got Moira going on. We got Doctor Stasis is an evil clone of Mr. Sinister. Cordyceps Jones is some crazy fungal creature, like horror type, uh, invasion of the body snatchers kind of style villain, and he has taken over control of Game World from Mojo. Like there's a lot going on in X-Men right now. I'm definitely enjoying it. I give it a giant thumbs up. And I feel like I was kind of proven right when a lot of people were hating on this X-Men run 1 through 5, 1 through 7, like those first issues, and I was like, no, 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 guys, there's a lot of stuff going on because he's building out like a lot of different story arcs that can keep things interesting throughout. Like there's lots of story. He has lots of stories to tell, basically, and so he's weaving them all together. And you're gonna get what reveals you get when you get them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Duggan's master plan on this, and I'm loving it. Like I'm surprised more people aren't picking this up. I hope they don't cancel this one because I can see that Duggan has definite long-term goals for where he wants to go with this title. It's like I said before, it's a far-off plan. All right, I'm gone. And as always, the art. Uh, it is just a pleasure to breathe in the talent of the Lil Raz and Gracia combo, and I'm still so grateful that a team that should honestly be only doing giant crossover books and stuff like that is actually doing a monthly title, and I feel so honored to be able to enjoy their artwork every month. Like, yeah. All right. Thumbs up. Yeah, guys, remember like, comment, and subscribe for your chance to win the Joker #1 Mark Brooks variant cover and the CBCA sticker. And if you guys stuck around this long in the video and you like this kind of content, hey guys, click the link below and shop on my eBay store, and I'll send you some comic books. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. I have a really cool video tomorrow, and yeah, maybe it's like gonna be a new weekly series. We'll see. Let me know tomorrow, guys, if you like it, and maybe it'll stick around. All right, we'll see you guys then, and have a great day. Okay.